is video 3 for map assignment number 2. We now need to add our left orchestra plane, our left section of downstairs seating in the Gracie Theater. And it's going to be the same steps as we just did in the previous video. We're going to enter these dimensions. And to just kind of review that, I'm going to slide this so it's visible. I'm going to say insert free draw geometry. And I want to name it exactly what it's supposed to be named. It should be called Orchestra Plane Left Plane. I'm using no capital letters on this. There's a reason for that, which I'll explain in another later in map assignments. But and of course it needs to be on orchestra planes. And we need to add 2 more points, so it will be a 4-point geometry. And we're going to close this geometry in the end, so the 4th point will seal to the 1st point. And now I'm going to just read and type these in. 28 minus 2.5. You need to be exact about this, or you'll have problems. An interesting thing to mention is these points are being entered in clockwise, I believe, from the top left point of the drawing. And we'll see that in a few moments. Since I was talking during this, we'll see minus 12, minus 5.5, minus 37, looks pretty good. Insert. Of course, I can always delete it and do it again. And that looks exactly right. And we needed to make that a prediction plane as well. So it's already selected over here and named. I'm going to make it a prediction plane. And let's go back to the instructions here. I might as well leave this offset a little bit and slide it down a little bit more. This is just so darn big. I want to zoom out a little bit. The instructions wanted me to show you how to use the different form of making it a prediction plane. This is just a review from the previous map assignment. If you go to object settings here, and as long as an item is selected, which it is, you can see how it's bright yellow. You can do a lot of things in this object setting. You can actually do your parameters for your shape here. You can actually do them over here as well. Here's where you can rename it. You can change what layer you're on, and really critical, you can actually make it a prediction plane. If this were a 3D object, you can actually make certain sides of the 3D object a prediction plane. So I wanted to show you that. Okay, so this is a very useful feature, object settings, and you'll want to become familiar with it. Going back to the model view, we have a 3rd drawing to enter. It wants me to save my file, which I will do, being very careful, because it's really important to do that. So save my file 03. And now that I've saved it as an ascending version, let's create this last orchestra right plane. So I'm going to insert free draw geometry. I want to call it orchestra right. Is that correct? Right orchestra plane. So no caps. It won't kill you if you use caps, but it helps to have a system here how you name things in MAPP. We're going to add 2 more points, close geometry, and at this point we need to slide this out of the way so I can see that. And I'm going to type in those numbers exactly how they're entered. 10, 28, minus 2.5, 46, 37, 0, 50.5, 19, 0, 14, and you do need to appreciate that I did all the work to get this all exactly right for you in advance, because it was significant work the first time I drew this. Insert, and oh, it's nice. And let's use that advanced technique for making a prediction plane, either in doing it here or object settings, prediction plane. And now we should have 3 prediction planes, which is kind of cool. Let's look at it through multiple view here. And you can see they are kind of angled a little bit, which is nice. And let's see what the instructions say about this. No, I know. Yep, that's what it looks like. Save my file. It wants me to save it. I'm going to get lazy and not save it. You shouldn't. Oh, so just a reminder, I already covered this earlier about how to reset your viewports. So you don't matter how to view presets, how to manipulate these and these to restore them to original settings. And let's zoom around a little bit. And the one thing to notice, I'm going to go back to viewport 1 here, and I want to zoom and orbit a little bit, is that it's really cool how it is 3D and all, but the plane is right on the floor, and the reality is people sitting here are going to hear something slightly different than the floor, because their feet are going to hear something different than their ears. So MAPP has a really cool feature for messing with this, and you can offset your plane from where it actually is, where the actual prediction is going to be above where the plane actually physically sits. And the way you do this, so I'm gonna take Orchestra center plane here. We'll do the one closest to what we're looking at, Orchestra left plane, and you go to Object Settings, and you put in an offset of how far away, and this can be a positive or negative number, but we'll do 3 feet. And now when I go back here, you can see that the prediction plane is actually 3 feet higher about where the ear would be. And I can do this with the center plane as well. Offset it by 3 feet, and this is required for the assignment, so please do it. And the right plane, we want to offset that as well by 3 feet. And now when we go back to our here, and maybe let's reset this back to isometric 1. You can pretty far away, so I'm going to zoom in and orbit, and you can kind of see that the planes are now offset about 3 feet from the ground, which is great. And I think this is a good place to stop and make a video. Did I miss anything important? No. So let's save this video, save this MAPP file, because that's critical. In case there's a problem, I can go back to an earlier version. So I'm going to be calling it MAPP test number 4, video test. And let's end the video and start up in another spot. Cool.